Ian, du hast mir ein neues Stück geschickt, so wie das immer läuft. Hier, ich habe was geschrieben. Schau doch mal, ob es dir gefällt, ob wir es rausbringen oder nicht. Und ich habe mir Space Rock angehört und ich dachte, was ist das? Ja, wie toll. Ähm, und es ist ja Crossover eigentlich. Ähm, und dann hast du mir erzählt, dass es für die Schweiz war, dass es für das Schweizer Orchester, Schweizer Jugendorchester in Auftrag gegeben wurde und das Ganze dann in Dänemark uraufgeführt wurde. So war erstmal der Sachstand bei diesem Stück.
Okay, to start with the space rock, yeah, it just happened like many other times before. Like you just sent me something and said, "Go ahead, listen to it. What do you think about it? Can we make something out of it?" And then you told Tobias that it's meant for the Swiss Youth Orchestra, Switzerland, Swiss, and that it was first played in Denmark.
Yes, they asked me to write this piece, and I seem to remember the theme for their concert tour to Denmark was stars or space or something like this. And it was Pierre Krumenacker who was conducting them for this tour, and he's a friend of mine. And he asked me to write a piece for them. And they'd already played my Black Mountain. I did a workshop with them on Black Mountain, or with some of the players from the youth orchestra, and they're very good young players. Seriously good. And obviously, Black Mountain is a very difficult, technically difficult piece to play, and they did an excellent job with that. And so I already had in my mind what sort of players I was writing for. And then I thought, okay, it's a youth orchestra. I want to write something which is fun to play, So that's why I threw in because of the rock in the title refers to a rock that is flying through space. It doesn't refer to rock and roll. It's definitely about the piece of rock flying through the sky, and what does it see. So at one point I write on the score, see the sun, and it's when the orchestra have to sing, and that's because the rock has come round from a dark side, and then it comes round to see the sun on this side, and immediately all the players start to sing, and it's that sort of wow moment that you would think if you were on this rock and you come from the dark side of the planet round to the other side, and suddenly you see the full effect. So I thought that would be fun for the young players, and also I just couldn't resist, having called it space rock because of the rock, then doing the little joke of having an actual rock section within the piece. I thought that was quite fun. And at the time when I was writing it, I was living temporarily down in Chichester in England on the south coast, because I was working on a new stage musical with the Dire Straits lead singer Mark Knopfler, and so I was involved with rock music every single day when I was working with him. So I thought, it just was an obvious and fun thing to add. So yeah, it's a little bit of crossover in there. And of course, since then, Matthias has taken space rock and made it into a full-on rock version with electric guitars, and it sounds excellent, really good.
Ja, sein Bruder ist Metal-Schlagzeuger. Ich war da, wir sind als Verlag bei der Aufführung von Space Rock gewesen. Das war ja die deutsche Erstaufführung in der Stadthalle in
Reutlingen.
Reutlingen, wunderbar. Und es war eine ganz andere Version als die von Attacker. Wir haben das gespielt, was in den Noten steht. Und er hat das eher freier genommen, ja.
Yeah, Tobias was there when they premiered in Germany with that piece, like Matthias did there in Reutlingen, and naturally it's a complete different version. Like Tobias said, we are the ones, we are playing what's written in the notes, what's written in the sheet music, but Matthias made his very own thing out of it.
Yes, yeah, he did. But he talked to me about it, and I told him just go with it. Do take it somewhere else, because that's another. I think that as a composer, that's a real compliment that someone wants to take something you've created and use it in a completely different way to how I had imagined it being used. But it makes sense. It's an interesting diversion for this rock to also go towards rock music.
Ja, warum ist dieses Stück auf unserer CD? Ganz einfach. Ich bin zu einer Probe gefahren, zu einem anderen Orchester von mir in Recklinghausen, zum Akkordeonorchester Recklinghausen. Und da fahre ich über die Autobahn und ich fahre von der Autobahn runter und ich muss nach links fahren und rechts gucke ich auf einen Berg, auch so eine Halde, wo auch die Totems draufstehen und verschiedene Berge hier im Ruhrgebiet. Und dann habe ich dieses Kunstwerk hier gesehen. Ich zeige dir mal das Bild. Und dieses Kunstwerk zeigt ein Sternenobservatorium und du siehst quasi die Laufbahn von Sternen beziehungsweise auch von der Sonne und so weiter und so fort. Also das hat sehr viel mit Astrologie, also mit Sternen zu tun. Und das war an dem Tag, als ich Space Rock gehört habe und ich habe gesagt, wow, das Stück für dieses große Kunstwerk ist ja schon fertig.
Okay, Tobias just said, why did we choose Space Rock to be on this CD, on this special CD where we have all the artwork for the mining industry? And one day when he was driving down the motorway, going to practice with his orchestra there in Recklinghausen, he turned off the motorway and saw this particular art. And then he thought, boy, this watching the stars and the sun and the observatory there, that is just ideal, because there we have already a piece of music now, which would fit to this particular piece of art. So that's why we chose to put it on the CD as well.
Oh, yes, when I see that work of art, it does make sense.
Ja, und wir sind einfach froh, dadurch haben wir einfach einen ganz neuen Sound auf der CD mit dem Gesang, mit der Sonne und so weiter. Also es ist einfach fantastisch. Und ich weiß jetzt schon, Ralf Schwarzin hat Space Rock in Bielefeld schon aufgeführt. So ist es wohl die 4. Aufführung. Ja. Oder die Nordrhein-Westfalen Zweitaufführung.
So meantime, it has already been played by other orchestras as well. So it's no longer a first for Germany, but a 3rd or 4th. And Tobias says probably the 2nd one for his province there, for Nordrhein-Westfalen, where Tucker is from.
Ja.
Good, I'm glad people are playing it. It's nice.
Ja. Ich glaube, es gibt kein anderes Stück, was so ist. Und ich kann mir das sehr gut vorstellen. Stell dir vor, du bist in Innsbruck in einem großen Konzertsaal und du spielst irgendein traditionelles Wertungsspielstück, ja, und dann zweite Nummer Space Rock und das Orchester singt. Und ich glaube, es ist ein großer Effekt, auch für Wertungsspiele.
Tobias believes it will be really great when you see it in a big concert hall, like on a competition, and you do a big concert piece and a competition piece, and as a 2nd one, then you choose Space Rock with the singing in there. it will be just a phenomenal feeling in this concert hall then. So he sees it as
Yes,
a nice piece for competitions as well.
yes. Again, I think it can work well in competition. This piece and another dramatic piece. I mean, it's the technical work at the beginning of the piece is quite tricky. It's in the style, um, a little bit sort of minimalist style, sort of John Adams, Steve Reich. It's that sort of technique, but with these very big interrupting um, statements. So, like, if it's going bang, that I was imagining this little space rock. You know, it's flying, it's going through space, but then something else comes and hits it. You know, more space debris, other space rocks hit off it. So yeah, technically in the beginning, it's a very high level because of, you know, the orchestra that I wrote it for, the Swiss orchestra, and then it has that moment of relief when it goes to the sun, and then the rock moment where everyone can grunge out to the do a lot of, need long hair to do that. It's sort of Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted moment.
Ja, ich kann nur sagen, vielleicht ist das wissen, glaube ich, auch viele noch gar nicht. Ich bin sehr, sehr froh, dass ich damals ein Stück von dir bestellt habe, noch über das London Accordion Orchestra, über die Homepage. Ich es gekauft habe und beim zweiten Mal, es war Rhapsody von Stuart Hancock, das war das zweite Stück, oder Karneval. Und da habe ich reingeschrieben: „Hallo, ich bin ein kleiner Verlag aus Deutschland und, ich fände es schön, deine Sachen zu verlegen.“ Und da waren wir wirklich noch klein. Da war es nur Amusiko, noch nicht Tastenzauber, noch nicht Heck, noch nicht Koschel. Also es war nur Amusiko mit vielleicht, ich könnte nachgucken, 20, 25 Stücken. Und es kam sofort eine E-Mail zurück, so nach dem Motto: „Heute ist ein besonderer Tag für mich. Ich freue mich, ja, wir kommen ins Geschäft, wir machen das. Wir kannten uns nicht, aber du hast einfach auf einen Verlag aus Deutschland gewartet. Und ich bin so stolz, genauso stolz wie du es bist, mit anderen Komponisten was zu machen, bin ich es, dass du einfach der Autor von Amusiko bist und wir einfach so toll zusammenarbeiten können und so viel für die Akkordeonorchester machen können.
Yeah, Tobias is really happy the way everything worked out. That the few years back when he started, like he ordered one of your pieces through the London Accordion Orchestra there, and then he sent you an email and presented himself and introduced himself that he has the small publishing facility here in Germany, and if you would be willing to publish with him. And then when you answered him right away as that you were just looking for a publishing place in Germany and that you would be happy and glad to do that, so everything worked out for Tobias too. And he said to have you as one of the composers within his publishing company is just a thrill of a lifetime.
Ja,
Well, yes, but I think in English we say it's a marriage made in heaven, because at the time, with the encouragement of Stefan Hippie, I was thinking more about my writing, and it was too much work trying to do the publishing through the London Accordion Orchestra. You know, for us, our orchestra wanted to focus on playing music, and we don't have so many people who want to get involved with administrative tasks. So this was something which I really wanted, was to have someone to help me with this publishing side. And all over these years, Tobias encourages me, helps me with ideas, and just is a very good friend and someone who promotes my music so that more people get to play it, and that's all any composer could ask for, is that you have a engaged and energetic publisher who won't leave you alone.
Ich versuche alles.
He tries everything.
2012 war die Nummer 24, war die 24. Veröffentlichung und das war im Jahr 2018. Also da waren wir wirklich noch klein.
Yeah, he just looked it up and he said that 2012 was his 24th published piece, and that was just in 2018. So
Wow.
not too long ago.
Yeah, and in those few years since then, 6 years later, we have many more pieces published. So yeah, it's a good collaboration.
Ja, ja. Und die nächsten Sachen sind ja noch da. Es kommt ja noch mehr.
There's more in the making.
Oh, there certainly is.
Ja, vielen Dank für deine Zeit, Ian. Und vielen Dank, dass du so viel tolle Musik einfach der Szene gibst. Und wir von Attacker können einfach nur sagen, es hat großen Spaß gemacht. Und wir freuen uns auf weitere Musik von dir.
Thank you, Ian, for your time, and thank you for the great music that you are giving us. And Ataka really had lots of fun doing, or has lots of fun doing your music, and we are looking forward to many more pieces.
Fabulous. Well, thank you for your time, both of you, and I hope the concert goes really well. And I will speak to you soon about lots of new pieces which are coming along nicely at the moment.
Okay.